Is the Chiefs dynasty really over? You know what I'm saying? As you all know, the Chiefs lost to the Chargers in the opening week, you know what I'm saying, of the NFL first week, week 1, and in a pretty convincing way. You know, even though the score might not reflect how, you know, the game went, the Chargers really dominated this game in pretty much almost every way except for stopping the pass game. You know, but they stopped the run pretty much. You know, Patrick Mahomes ran for like 50, 60 yards, which is unusual for him. But those was off of, you know, him getting pressured and him having to run. The Chargers pretty much got everything they wanted, basically, especially in the pass game. Now, the run game was struggling a little bit. But one thing I will say is, me personally, I do think that the Chiefs dynasty is over. You know what I'm saying? I do think this is the end of the Chiefs dynasty as you know it. Just given the fact that a couple of things, the Chiefs are getting old. Chris Jones is like 32. Patrick Mahomes is about to turn 30. Travis Kelce, this is his last season. He's 34, 35. And when you combine that with, you know, Xavier Worthy getting injured, Rashee Rice getting suspended, you know what I'm saying? If you mix all that in the pot, this is not a team that's looking to win a championship. Or this is not a team that looks like it's going to win the championship. It's pretty much crazy because if you really think about it, every dynasty ends the same way, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's age or injuries. If you just look at everything as far as the talent level, you know, around the Chiefs, whether it's in their division or just in the league as a whole, you know, the Chiefs are starting to fall behind a little bit. Or not just that, but the NFL is also starting to figure out the Chiefs, you know what I'm saying, what they like to do in situations, you know, what Patrick Mahomes likes to do. The new dynasty, you would say, would probably be the Eagles, just given how many skilled players that they have, in which Jalen Hurts and Saquon and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. But you also got to think about that offensive line, too. Unlike the Chiefs, it's looking like the Eagles are pretty much set up to be winning for at least the next 5 years. Given that injuries and, you know, players requesting trades and stuff and getting frustrated doesn't happen. But yeah, you know, I think that this is definitely the end, given that they're going to end up losing Travis Kelce, who was pretty much the main reason for them winning so much. So you losing a key part, it's going to be hard to replace somebody like Travis Kelce, especially given on what he brings, you know, to the team and to the game. And one thing I do think the Chiefs messed up on, even though it's been years past this, but I do think they still messed up by not signing Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? Even though that they won since then, you can tell that they're missing, you know, that spark plug, you know, that game-changing player in which Tyreek Hill is, especially with his speed. And I think that's the reason why the Chiefs are, you know, starting to decline, because they're trying to find that, you know, that playmaker, that game changer, in which they haven't found yet. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell they're trying to find the closest thing to Tyreek Hill, basically, because they signed Hollywood Brown, he's a speed receiver. Xavier Worthy, the same thing, year after year. Ever since they won that Super Bowl year after year, you can tell that their offense hasn't been the same. You know, it hasn't been as explosive as it once was before. Another thing that's leading to the Chiefs' downfall also, though, is not just because of the offense and them getting old, but their pass defense is terrible. As far as the linebackers and the defensive line, they definitely have a bright future in that space. But what they definitely going to be struggling with now and in the future is their corners. Trent McDuffie is definitely one of the best corners in the league, but how that pass defense is playing, they're definitely going to need more than Trent McDuffie, because that secondary is bad. Outside of Trent McDuffie, they pretty much struggling, and it's not making their situation no better. I'm not saying that the Chiefs are going to mess around and not make the playoffs or not going to at least be competitive. As long as they have number 15 in Andy Reid, they're definitely going to be competitive. They're definitely going to make the playoffs consistently and all that. But I'm talking about as far as championships and Super Bowl and the consistent dominance that they have been showing for the past 5 to 7 years, they're not going to get back to that level again. Especially if they don't fix that pass defense, and also if they don't find that main, game changer on offense that they had in Tyreek Hill. That's pretty much all I got for this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do those 3 things for me. Man, I'll catch y'all in the next one.